Thank you, Speaker. My next question is also for the Premier. In 2013, the Premier said this about her party's cancellation of the Oakville and Mississauga gas plants, and I quote, "I never said this wasn't a political decision. It was
Minister
a political
of Education.
decision." Will the Premier admit
Minister
right
of
now,
Community and Social,
so that her successor won't have to, that her hydro borrowing scheme is just a political decision designed to try
Minister
to help
of
the party
Agriculture.
hold on to power in the next election?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. I'm getting a sense somebody's requesting warnings. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our decision to reduce people's electricity bills by 25% has everything to do with people's ability to pay their electricity bills and to manage their budgets, Mr. Speaker. That's what our plan is about. And, Mr. Speaker, we recognize that the $50 billion of investment that has been made in the electricity system to make it clean, renewable and reliable, Mr. Speaker, investment that was necessary because previous governments had not made those investments, Mr. Speaker, and we were dealing with a degraded electricity system in 2003. We recognize that the cost associated with that needs to be spread over a longer period of time. That's what we're doing, and in doing that, Mr. Speaker, we are able to give people immediate relief, 25% reduction this summer, and, Mr. Speaker, in rural and northern communities, some people will see a 40 to 50% reduction, Mr. Speaker. That is in response to people's need in this province. That's what the Fair Hydro Plan is about.
Supplementary.
Last fall, the Premier also admitted that soaring hydro bills were her mistake in the first place. She said, and I quote, "I take responsibility as leader for not paying close enough attention to some of the daily stresses in Ontarians' lives. Electricity prices are a prime example." Why is the Premier pushing forward, Speaker, with a hydro borrowing scheme when documents show, and she knows that it will cause hydro bills to go up even further and cause even more stress for the families and businesses that she just apologized to 6 months ago?
Thank you.
So, Mr. Speaker, I've been very clear that we were working on a number of initiatives. We removed 8%, Mr. Speaker, from people's bills. We renegotiated the Samsung contracts, Mr. Speaker. We've been working on this not for months, but for years to remove costs from the system because we recognized that those investments to upgrade the system were costly and had a cost associated with them. In removing 25% from people's bills, Mr. Speaker, we have said that that means that the cost will be shared over a longer period of time. And in the short term, that 25% reduction will help people immediately. In the midterm, Mr. Speaker, we will hold those bills down to the rate of inflation. And in the long-term electricity plan, the long-term energy plan is being developed, and we will continue to take costs out of the system. This is immediate relief, Mr. Speaker, but we recognize that there is a longer-term plan that's needed. That plan is being developed, Mr. Speaker.
Final